for rocks. So if I want to paint rocks. I'm going to start with a kind of a darker background. I'm using here burnt umber, burnt sienna, and ultramarine violet, ultramarine violet. And I'm going to take a big brush, and I'm just going to put colors randomly. They're not too strong. Let's take some ultramarine, mix it with burnt umber, put it here. So the idea is to lay down or paint a color that is dark but not too dark. And the ultramarine violet will give me that, mixed with burnt umber. Let's take, so it's a kind of a general wash. It's not too dark. And I'm not seeing black in here at all. Dark colors, but not black. This is, I'm using a book, a sketchbook. Okay. I'm already seeing different levels in that beautiful, or different values and shapes. It gives me a shape. So there's no black in here at all. It's all kind of light washes, overlaying light washes. Let it dry, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take, let's say, now I'm going to go from dark to medium tone. So I'm going to take brown, and instead of using white, I'm going to use titanium buff. Right there. That's a titanium buff. A bit of ultramarine violet. Titanium buff is thick, so it's opaque, kind of. So it's going to make my color lighter, but it's not white. I don't want it white. I'm going to come here. This is now, first of all, we're going to determine where the light is coming from. Let's say it's coming from this side, which is right to left. I'm going to start, let's take a bit of yellow ochre as well. Yellow ochre gives me the sunny feel, sun part, but it's not yellow. Let's take some as well. Burnt sienna. And let's see if this is going to work, because this is over paper. Okay, over paper. Can't see it that much. I'm going to highlight it a little bit more. See, that's the thing with titanium buff. It highlights, but it doesn't take over like white. if I find that it's not enough highlight with the titanium buff, then I can move into add a bit of white at that point. So my highlight is going here. I'm putting my highlight here. You know what? I'm going to add a bit of white because I can't see it. I still can't see it. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to drag it all the way down. Another one here. Already I'm seeing an in shape in here, in between. I'm going to leave that. Let's take this highlight in a different shape, like that. There's no strong line, dark line going through. Not yet, not yet. I'm gonna go again. Let's take some of these colors here and come back here. Adding white helps. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a tiny bit of more highlights here and there. The more I go down the darker I'm going to make my my rocks. Getting a nice shape. Let's take another color, a little bit of yellow and burnt sienna. I'm just following a certain pattern for highlights. That's all I'm doing. So there is a certain pattern that I'm following, and it's just once I start laying down my colors, my highlights, I start thinking about the shape, what shapes I'm getting. I'm going to take a little bit of, I'm just changing color a bit. Okay, now I'm going to take that. Again, it's all about play of light and dark. This is where the light is hitting, this side. Again, let's do, so every time I put my highlight down, I add a highlight. That means I'm shaping. So I keep an eye on what I'm getting at that point. Does it look like a rock? Are there the values? Are they too strong, too light, too dark? In between. I don't want to lose my darks. I'm going to put them down again, put them back on, put some of them back on. But at the same time, I don't want to lose them completely, which is just the burnt umber. The more I go in, the less highlight maybe. I'll go in here a bit with my highlight. Keeping an eye on the negative where the dark is. I never jump from dark to light right away. I always have the in-between, which is the medium tone. Perfect. See, that's good medium tone in between. Perfect. This is all these highlights are facing the sun. That's why I'm putting them there. Now I'm not doing any highlights here, strong highlights, so my brush stroke is down. I don't want to, it's not a precise one like this. It's not, you know, controlled like that one here. Now I can go back, pick up a smaller brush, and take some brown, burnt umber, and just kind of go in between and open up, darken a little bit, burnt umber, darken a bit in between, reshape. Reshape. So it's dark, medium, light. Some of these areas here will have a little bit of a darker color, so I'm going to take a round brush. I'm going to go in and then slowly kind of add some detail in here. I'm finding this too strong. So if I do any dark, if I put any darks in here, I usually put them in an area and then I stop. I don't bring the line all the way down. I don't drag it all the way down. Even if I do, it's not straight. Right. Now, I'm going to go back to the colors I've been using here and soften this a bit. That's better. It was too strong. I see here flat, so let's take a tiny bit of dark, which is a medium tone, and come back here, give it a bit of a different value in here. So it's a movement. Rocks are kind of, or any object, painting any object. I shouldn't say rocks only. If I take brown, let's put brown with ultramarine violet. If I take brown and I want to paint a rock, I'm going to put my color. I don't have a reference, but I suggest, if I want to do something like this, I always use a reference. But I don't have a reference right now. First of all, the first thing I'm going to do is put a bit of a different color to give myself or show I can see a bit of movement. Alright, now what I'm going to do is find out where the light is coming from. Again, right to left. I'm going to take medium tone, not a highlight. Medium, using maybe some warm colors like burnt sienna mixed with yellow ochre. And I'm going to find these highlights are going to shape my rock. It's going to give me an idea how it looks like. Painting rocks is not easy. It's not easy. especially with acrylics because it dries darker. I'm going to take a bit of white now. So what I'm trying to say is that dark, medium, light. It's never from dark to light only. Dark, medium, light. Slowly. I'm not very good at painting rocks. I always try to avoid them in my paintings. But when I have to do something like this, I try my best. A bit more highlights, of course. A little bit more with whites. Titanium white. Yellow ochre. Any colors that are warm. So this is where the light is. Then I have medium tone. Then I have a dark. I wait for it to dry. I go back because acrylic dries darker. Adjust my values. And really it depends on, I really suggest it. If anybody wants to paint rocks, do find a reference and try to use your reference in black and white first. Look at it in black and white so you can see the values, and then you can, paint good rocks at that point. So my darks are the first darks, so there's no black. It's just the first darks I put the first time, which is the burnt umber. And I am using these as my darks. I am not taking a brush and painting them. If I need to put them back, all I have to do is do this. And this is how I put my darks back. I paint them, but it's not a straight line. It's just kind of a suggestion of broken kind of, let's say here, there. Maybe a little bit here. Just a little bit at the bottom. maybe a tiny bit here at the bottom. But there's nothing that suggests a strong line. So let's see here, maybe if I find that this is too much, I can take a medium value and put it in, and that will soften that dark. So if I find again that this is too dark, I can soften it with a medium value. Putting a medium value next to it will soften it, so it's not against a light. It's not dark against light. It's dark against a bit of dark against medium tone. So sometimes we do have to put that dark in there. I'm not saying that it's not done. It has to be done sometimes. We have to do it, but it's not a line, straight line, or a strong line. That's it.